Hi everyone, it's Lorna here from Simple Sew, and today I'm going to talk you through how to measure the amount of stretch in knit fabrics. When you're working with a pattern that requires stretch in the fabric, it's really important that you determine the amount of stretch before you start sewing. If you're buying your knit fabric online, you can usually find details of the amount of stretch in that fabric from the supplier's description. However, if you're not sure, check before you start your project. So the amount of stretch required for a certain pattern can usually be found on the back of the pattern envelope. Sometimes you'll also find a ruler there to help you measure the amount of stretch. Knit fabrics are either two-way stretch, meaning that they'll stretch across the cross grain, or they can also be four-way stretch, which will stretch both on and across the grain. So the grain line runs parallel to the selvage, whereas the cross grain runs at a right angle to it. Usually the largest amount of stretch can be found across the cross grain. Now you're going to want to take your fabric and fold it along the cross grain because that's going to have the most amount of stretch, and that's the part that we want to measure. Okay, so I have my left finger on the 0. I'm going to place my right finger over the 10cm mark, and what you're going to want to do is just pull that fabric until you feel resistance. So mine has gone to 18, which means it's got an 80% stretch. If it had gone to 15, for instance, it would have had a 50% stretch. Now the other thing you can do here is measure the recovery of the fabric, which means how well the fabric actually bounces back. So for instance, my left finger is on the 0, my right is on the 10. Now when I pull that again to 18, I can slowly let it come back. Now does it come back all the way to 10? Mine doesn't, it's about 11, so it doesn't have a full recovery, and that really depends on the type of fabric. So I really hope you enjoyed this video on how to measure the amount of stretch in your knit fabrics. For more hints and tips videos, patterns and haberdashery, visit www.simplesewpatterns.com. Bye!